Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube page. Hey, look at this video. I posted last week and apparently I forgot to turn on the audio, so we'll do it again and we'll get that through for you. So structure fire in Aberdeen, South Dakota, thanks to Tony Coleman. As always, the links are in the post here, so let's get it rolling. And as we get going here, we're going to see, obviously, right, so one of the things to remember about the art of reading smoke, smoke is fuel, and in this case, most of the fuel is being consumed because this fire is well ventilated, right? Pretty significant fire over here, and we're starting to get some exposure here. In fact, we draw your attention up here because that's where we're going to really focus today. Just a little bit of light, laminar, thin, white smoke up there in the corner, and I know you weren't looking there to begin with, so let's go back. Take a look at that, right? So a little bit of smoke getting into the attic and eaves. The fire department's just arriving. If you go to the original video, you can hear the parking brake get set. They got the door open, they're pulling the line, and see it's more smoke, right? So still laminar, still thin, still white, right? So you look at volume, velocity, density, color. There's definitely heat getting applied over here, and the attic is a natural place for it to extend, right? And one of the things about reading smoke when we're doing it is we've got to constantly be sort of doing our inventory. So we see it when we first get there. We want to see it a few minutes later, and then we can compare and contrast. And in this case, we have that smoke. Volume, velocity, density, color, right, is increasing over here. Okay, it's increasing over here. You can see here the power line's already burned through. They're going to get this line, and they're going to hit the main body of the fire, and they're going to hit the house a little bit. And I'm not sure, like I don't ever really know what's going on with the fire departments and these things, right? I don't know how much staffing they have. I don't know anything about their SOGs or whatever, right? So it's not a kibitz about them. It's just an understanding of what we can learn. And right now, already we can see here, if we look, right, you can see significant smoke here. It's more significant here, but the change is over here in this corner, which is probably the other gable end of this, right? It's probably this little vent or something. It might be bigger. We don't know for sure, right? But it's coming out down there, and you can see there was a cut in the video, so we don't really know how long it was. Oops, sometimes when I stop it like that, it gets kind of choppy. Sorry about that. Once again, it's choppy. Let me give it another go. There we go. It's smoothed out. So look up here. Notice it's already coming out the gable end of this attic space. Nothing coming out the door. The door's wide open. And as they start to hit the main body of the fire over here. So what we're going to do over the course of time, where we got there's a little bit more time left in this video, is I really keep our eye up there. We'll see this volume, velocity, density, color just continues to increase and increase and increase, right? So if by knocking down this fire, let's say that was all just steam and heat, right? We'd expect this smoke when we hit the main body of this fire on this extension side. You can see there's actually a little flame going right there in the corner, right? We expect it to get down, and in this case, we're going to see in the color, the volume, velocity, density, color changes over the course of time. And remember that color sets the stage, really sets the stage of the fire, sets the stage of the heating. Initially what we had was that white, right? That's going to be early stage heating, and then sort of on the other end we get all the way to black, and that's going to be late stage heating. And in this case we're going to get a chance to see that occur. You see they hit this a little bit, and we would expect this to really go away. There's a lot of white in here. Some of it's dissipating, but not all of it. And what we'd expect to see, if in fact this took the body out of the fire over here, is that volume, velocity, density, color should continue to decrease, and we can see just about missed it there. So look up here, it's going to pan away. When it comes back, we're going to notice, right? We're going to notice. I'm going to try and stop it. Oh, I missed it. Let's get back to it here. Dang it! Sorry, I missed it again. Okay, look at this now, right? Significantly more volume, velocity, density, color. So the volume is much higher. The color's in this gray-black now. The velocity is not quite turbulent, but definitely working its way up from where it was strictly laminar floor, sort of in the middle now. And so there's a problem over here, right? And that's the thing we're trying to identify. If there was no problem over here, after they hit this side of this the house, the exposure, right? So the main fire here, exposure here. When they hit the side of the house, if there was no fire in the attic, right, then this volume velocity density color would have been rapid and sustained decrease. But the fact that it's getting worse is telling us that there's an independent problem over here. So whenever we have a fire and the possibility of extension, there's a period of time where if you put the original fire out, the secondary problem goes away. But this fire is in that next phase where by solving the initial problem, you don't solve the exposure problem. And in fact, we're going to be able to watch this. So we've seen that color change over the course of time. Color sets the stage. We started with white. We're in the middle of the grays now. And this over here is just going to continue to get worse. Right? It's going to continue to get worse here. Now, the video sort of chops up a little here at the end. But we can see now, right in the still a problem over here, still working, and then there's going to be sort of a separation of video, so we don't know how much time went away, right? But still a working problem over here, right? It's like, hey, let's get inside there. Now they cut the video right there, so we don't know how much time it's been, but we're going to get one more look at the house over here. Okay, and now they're working it, right? So the whole volume velocity density color is lower now. They're working on the attic fire now. And so some of the things we're looking at here is just making sure once we do that inventory of volume velocity density color that we come back to it, right? We don't just do an initial and then move on. We need to come back to it repeatedly over the course of time. When the problem's getting solved, we'll have a rapid and sustained decrease in velocity. Once we've got the fire attack underway, really BVDC should just go down the entire time, right? It should always get better. In this case, we can see that that doesn't happen, at least as far as the roof here, right? And the color sets the stage. Early stage heating, like we have here, is white, right? Clean. This is actually clean, pristine, dissipating white. That's early stage heating. That's the water, the steam coming out of the members in the roof here. Eventually, in an attic like this, we'd probably get some brown, but then after that, once it gets hot enough, we're going to see black out of there. And so color sets the stage of the heating, and this is a good example over the course of time as we watch this thing develop, that we just keep coming back to that inventory, recognize the color changes, and that's opposite of what we would expect to happen if we didn't have any fire up in the attic. All right, so thanks for bearing with me on my mistakes on this post, and for being here to support me on my YouTube channel. As always, hit like and subscribe if you like what's going on, or spread the word in your department. All right, thanks for being here. We'll see you next week. For the Art of Reading Smoke with Phil Jose, I'm Phil Jose, and I'm out.